professor, physician, epidemiologist. I am Dr. Sri Banerjee. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, epidemiologist, biostatistician, faculty member. And in this video, I'm going to be going over a little bit more about SAS. Especially, I'm not so much more focused in this video about how to run procedures and run techniques. Rather, I want to focus more on the available data sets within the contents of the SAS cloud. So when you're using on-demand academics, you're relying mainly on the usage of the cloud-based app. And of course, this is since this is freely available, as I've discussed elsewhere. It's really convenient to be able to use these data sets at the tip of your fingers. And I'm going to show you the power of this over the course of this video. But I also wanted to put a quick plug in for this one book, the Little Sas book, which is a good introductory it gives you a lot of good overview as I'm looking at this book, just providing good I would say tutorials of how to do how to accomplish different things. So for instance, getting your data into SAS is chapter 2. Chapter 3, working with your data, and it has a lot of good tables and figures with numeric functions, character functions. So if you want to have a reference book there, that would be good. So let me now talk about this repository, so to speak, library. So SAS Help has many different data sets available, as you can see here. So if we now look at, if we go back here, and then scroll down here. So this page that I'm looking at is a Sas documentation page. The way SAS is set up is that there's plenty of documentation pages where there's all of the, in the main section, if you look at the Help Center, all of the different types of procedures you can go into more detail, like survey means procedure. You can go into that. So, for instance, this is good for if you have waiting and things like that. But today we're going to focus more on, again, the existing data sets. And so SAS Help data sets, here's the overview of SAS Help data sets, and then baseball data. There's baseball data, and because I'm more in the health discipline, I'm going to be focusing more on that. So for starters, we have 2003 birth weight data set. So if you want to take a look at this, this is a pretty good one. So this looks at infant mortality, looking at 100,000 random observations. So it looks at certain factors like maternal smoking, drinking behavior, birth weight, and also observation records, infant death within 1 year of birth. Also has some background characteristics of the mother. So you can kind of go through this and use this data set. So next up we have the body mass index for men dataset. And this is actually looking at 1999 to 2000 and then 2001 to 2002 surveys of men, looking at the National Center for Health Statistics. And so you have good BMI and age data contained within this, only for men though. So that's the only, if you're looking for data on women, that's not going to be available with this. So the next one that is medical in nature is bone marrow transplant data. And this is survival analysis data. So at the time of transplant, there's three risk categories: acute lymphoblastic leukemia, acute myelocytic leukemia, and so low risk, and acute myelocytic leukemia, high risk. So the endpoint of interest, of course, is disease-free survival time. So this is a robust cancer data set, which really looks at leukemias, and honestly, not enough is done, especially in the area of public health in leukemia. We have some additional birth weight data. The last one was from 2003, and this one is actually from 1997. And this one is collected from the National Center for Health Statistics, ages between 18 and 45, and then looking at singleton births to mothers between the ages of 18 to 45. And then the data, and then other data records. So there's about 50,000 observations, I believe, on this one. So you can look at the first 5 out of the 50,000. And you can look at some of the factors like cigarettes per day, mother's education level, marital status, gender of the baby, and then also looking at weighting. So these are all different data sets that are important. Now I'm going to be going over this because environmental health has an impact from especially weather patterns. El Nino weather pattern has a real impact. And so this is looking at some of these El Nino weather patterns, southern oscillation, ENSO patterns. And so this is looking at the barometric pressure, year, and different things from that. Also, again, I'm interested in environmental health, so emissions data, exhaust emissions data might be of use, except there's not too much information about health per se, so this might be good for just kind of looking superficially at some things. And then leukemia data sets. This is a good one. This is a data set consisting of actually genetic information, 7,129 genes, and 38 training samples. So type 1 leukemia was part of this acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and then acute myeloid leukemia. So this is looking at some of these, the first 5 observations, and what types of data is provided in here. So you're getting the process also. Take note of this is how all this is set up within the layout of SAS. This is something that is standard for most types of data sets. So if we now look at the overview, I think it's good to go back to the overview and make sure there's actually 200 data sets. I've only scratched the surface of what is available within the contents of this, and it's helpful to go through a lot of these and take a look at what they are. And Framingham Heart Study happens to be one of them. Again, started in the 1940s. This is a robust data set which includes a lot of different factors like blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, but different demographic variables which were initially used to determine the association between high blood pressure and cardiovascular related mortality. So now that is also included within these sample data sets that are available within SAS. So I hope this has given you a good kind of overview of all of the different components and sample data sets that are included within the Sas cloud. If you ever have any questions about where any of this is included or provided, you can always kind of go back to this appendix and this user's guide. Again, this is all coming from the user guide, and it has a lot of good, even statistical information. If you're looking to quickly look at something like power and sample size, and you don't really know what to provide for your student, this is a really good resource to provide, and they have really interesting statistical background, which breaks it down, and provides, and I'm going to show you an example, provides the description in a way that is not in other places. So this is something that is good to have. See, the descriptions are brief, but it's broken down in a way that you can quickly refer to this. So a clunky user's guide on a book might be too much. So it's more important to be having kind of different types of subcategories. So I hope this has given you a good grasp on how to go through various sample data sets. Thank you for listening.